Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today we're going to look at this new friend here. Who is this friend? This is the Volux Spectra 300. This is a new fixture from a brand that you might not be familiar with, but they've got quality in their DNA, in their background, and everything I've tested with this fixture I'm really happy with. So what I want to do in this video is take a really great look, first starting with the basics and then diving a lot deeper into the full control of the Spectra 300 by Volux Lighting. Physically, it looks like a lot of other fixtures in the mid-size mover range in the world. Like, you know, nothing's gonna blow my mind these days. It's a good quality plastic. I like the design and the hexagon patterns they've done on the grills. They've got their name in it. They've got a lens on the front. That's how lights work. The base is a pretty typical molded plastic base. It's got 5-pin DMX, no 3-pin, which is honestly the trend with a lot of manufacturers these days. As much as I like 3-pin because it saves people a couple dollars, will be okay. And PowerCon in and through, which I appreciate. Again, being a 300 watt mover, you know, it's gonna draw, the source is gonna draw 300. So, you know, say 400 watts, I know the specs on their site, but you can chain multiple of these together, be good on one circuit. Okay, and that's gonna be auto ranging, 100 to 240, as we would expect from any light in this range. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this guy on. I'm gonna turn it around, show you the LCD on the front here. It does have, and this is a pre-production unit from what I understand that was at a trade show before I got my hands on it. It has a button here to activate the menu on battery mode. It hasn't been working. I don't know if that's just because I haven't had it plugged in to charge it back up or not, but I'll reach out to Volux and check about that. I'm not concerned because they've got enough track record for me to know that if they're advertising something, it's gonna be there. The buttons are a buttonless design. So let's get this powered in, get it DMX'd up. So we got the power, we got the DMX attached now. We're gonna see here on the LCD, you should be able to see their name. The styling of the LCD is kind of interesting in that it's very robotic, kind of futuristic looking. I really don't care as long as it's easy to get around an LCD, what it's styled like. So it's homing. It's got a really nice readout on it, just about what it's doing. It's got the serial number on there, I believe. So we'll let this guy boot up here. It also has pan and tilt locks, which can be helpful when moving and carrying it. They also offer a case, which is really nice. I've got it over there. It fits 2 units in a really compact size with space for your cables. Thinking of which, cable-wise, I've got this set in the console pointing that direction. That's why it homed there. But cable-wise, this is going to come with the PowerCon True 1, of course, to get you plugged in. And it also comes with a 5-pin DMX cable, which is, you know, not a freebie. Like, these things cost money. It also has 2 Omega clamps for your clamping-ness so that you can hang the light. Okay, 2 Omega. You can add clamps to the Omega. So, like I talked about with the menu, it's very futuristic. Navigating it's a little funky because there's icons that are first, and I think this is just something to get used to. And then you enter in, and then you get to the words. So initially when I look at it, it looks like the icons and the words line up, and they're like one thing, and the icon just represents the word. That's not actually how it works. Again, not a big deal. It's just different. But it does work. Everything's really easy to read. There's a lot of great readouts. Taking a minute. We've got this booted on. There's no light coming out yet. And you're going to hear a little bit of fan noise out of the Volux Spectra 300, but nothing unacceptable. For a fixture of this size, it's a reasonable amount of fan noise. I've heard stuff that's so much louder. Totally acceptable, totally good. So let's go ahead and power this on here. I've got it running here. I've just got a hazy look going on here with it, shooting that beam through the haze. And we're going to see that noise level wise, even at full intensity, we're really not getting much of a difference. Everything sounds really great. Okay, and that's one of the things I like about this fixture. Let me hop over to the console real quick and then we're going to demo through all the features of this fixture so you can get to know the Volux 300 just a little bit better. All right, so now we're here by the console. I want to just walk through some of the features of this fixture so you can see it really well, check it out on all the cameras. I am also going to dim it down while it's on the wall just so that you can see it a little bit better. All right, so in the box, inside this fixture, there's a variety of really interesting features. So first of all, let's just grab this fixture. Actually, I'm going to turn it off and just grab my Spectra 300. Everybody always says they like how I just do these on the fly. Turn it on, and we're going to go ahead to pan tilt. Then we're going to tilt it forward. You can see that tilting really nice. Overhead, it makes a really nice beam. And if we look at the speed on that too, even if I jump on the console from one end to the other, it does move nice and quickly. We'll also do pan. Awesome. In terms of brightness overall, when we compare this to other CMY spots of a similar size, in our testing, we compared it to, and we'll have some video out later probably, of two other fixtures that are in that 300 to 400 range of LED wattage with CMY. We compared the brightness between them, and we found the Spectra to be really competitive. Right there, right smack in the middle, and visually looking very similar to the other two units we tested, so be on the lookout for that soon. But this is a review of just this light. So we've got pan tilt, we see that moves nice and quick. Intensity-wise, if I just bring this down manually, I want to show you the dim to zero. Did you see that? No, you didn't. See that? No, you didn't. So this is an area where this fixture is exceptional. When it comes to an LED moving light, the dimming is going to be done at the LED. It's not a mechanical dimmer, it's electronic, it's dimming the LED. Still, this LED source dims to zero better than a lot of other fixtures on the market. It's really smooth, and I appreciate that, because then you dim down to zero, you don't see that snap off. It's just really good. So I appreciate what they've done there. I'm going to turn this down so it exposes correctly, and then pop over to zoom. So this guy goes all the way down to 3.5 degrees and all the way up to 46, okay? When you look at other fixtures in this class, that's just like stupid wide, really nice. You're going to see, if you look at it on the wall here, I think it's visible on the camera. It may have a slight hot spot to it just to appear brighter, but it's not exceptionally so, like some fixtures. And so it's really nice that you've got those options, as well as on either end of the zoom. Check this out. So on either end of the zoom, say I go, like for example, to the rotating gobo wheel and I pop back, okay? I am able to go ahead either end of the zoom and focus that gobo. See that? I'm able to get focus on that gobo all the way at the top end. Let's choose a different one. I go to my other gobo wheel. I'm able to switch between it. Oh, the other gobo wheel's a beam reducer right now. Whoop, boom. Switch between the two. Gobo morphing, that is switching between the two gobo wheels, is real nice. Seeing as, you know, I've got this gobo up, I really can't see anything from the second gobo except the overall outer shape. And then I focus the fixed gobo wheel, and I see similar. Again, it's not like the gobo's not there, but in terms of what you see for gobo morphing, it works really well. Okay, so as we said, electronic focus, zoom. There's also an autofocus for the gobos, which is kind of interesting. You know, I have, what are my thoughts on autofocus? I'm going to set it to 5 meters. Okay, so that's about 16 feet, and shoot it across the room, which should be about right. When you do put it in autofocus mode, your focus control does nothing at that point. Okay, so we've got it at a 5 meter autofocus. And then if I'm on the fixed gobo wheel, for example, it's nice and sharp. Okay, no matter what I put in. If I go to the rotating wheel, it's a little bit soft. So My opinion, I guess autofocus is always interesting to me because I've seen it different ways in different fixtures over the years. In this case, it appears to be that it keeps the fixed gobo wheel in focus, and then the theory goes, if I change the zoom, yep, no matter where I change the zoom, basically all the way down, almost, it constantly compensates the focus for that range. So this is actually really stinking helpful for if you are shooting gobos through the air. I know the intensity's way down right now. But if you are shooting gobos through the air, and then you just go and you pop that autofocus on, you're then able to zoom to either end of the zoom range, okay? So here it is all the way wide, and all the way narrow. The autofocus on this gobo is not doing amazing, but even if I just back off of it just a hair, yeah, right, literally just back off that just like a small percentage. It only got a couple feet bigger, and it's able to focus that automatically. So again, autofocus is a feature that in all of the other fixtures at this level I have never seen. That's something you typically see in bigger fixtures. Okay, so besides gobos, then let's go ahead and bring it back. Hope we've moved it all over the place. So bring it back over here and talk about, we've got our beam, pull out our gobos. Really great set of gobos in here. We'll flash it here from the B-roll, but basically there's a fixed gobo wheel that has 10 gobos on it, and again we'll overlay it here later on. So that's got 10 gobos on it that are really good for beamy through the air stuff. Then the second set of gobos, I believe it's 11 through 15, are more graphical for shining on objects. The rotating gobo wheel has a variety of gobos as well. It has 7, I think. Again, super standard, having 7 gobos on a rotating wheel. We'll flash through those with the B-roll footage here. The color wheel. So in terms of color, there's a couple really interesting, awesome things in this fixture. The first is that there's CMY color mixing. So that means you can go ahead, grab your color picker, whatever you want to do, or use the flags individually, and seamlessly mix colors all day long. Okay? Then there's a color wheel. The color wheel is great. It gives you a red that's really punchy, punchier than I just had it when it was up on the CMY, for example. Just a good selection of colors that maybe are a little harder to mix. It, of course, can do split colors. In addition to just being able to do split colors, I don't know if you could see it here. Let me bring it up gently. A lot of fixtures, when you bring up the split colors, you just get this. You just get split color down the middle. And that's cool. Being able to pop between split and not, like that's helpful. But the Spectra 300 actually goes a step further in the development of the software inside this fixture. And I can split that color anywhere. So from a tiny, tiny bit of split all the way up like that. How does this affect your daily life? You might be saying to yourself, David, I really couldn't care less if I can split the color in half or less or more. But if you're going ahead and maybe you go in and you take in a gobo, okay, off the rotating wheel, and I'm going to pull the intensity down so it's a little better on the image here. And then I pop in a prism, the prism, 3-facet prism on this. And then I go back to my color and I start to just feather that guy in a little bit. Okay. Now I can decide whether I'm building like a gobo with a sunset, or maybe I put in the frost and build something. I can decide how much of each color exactly I want. So in the case of a show where you've got time to program and be able, it's a longer run maybe, and you've got some more time to be able to figure out exactly what you need, that's going to be a really great fit for you. Being able to tweak in how much of each split color you want. Again, not every fixture does that, but it's something they've added in. There's also, by DMX, you can adjust the PWM rate of the LED. And so, for example, let's just start adjusting it here. Sometimes you can get it on camera to get like a little bit of a roll. Like I saw it flash when it switched between slow and fast, but ultimately I couldn't get this to roll on camera at all. Sometimes you can get that depending on if you're shooting at a higher rate, a higher shutter speed, depending on your type of sensor. But this gives you the ability to not have to worry about that. You can adjust it as needed. Okay, in terms of color, there is also a CTO. Okay, you see it, bring it in there, bring it out. And so it is an actual CTO filter that's actually inside this on its own dedicated wheel, from what I can gather. And it has the ability to change the color temperature of the unit linearly, so among any range you want. Super big plus if you're doing front lighting with this. You're able to be able to front light people and be able to warm up that skin tone a little. Also as well, the CRI on this and just the overall color quality that we're seeing out of the front of this light is really good. Really positive, definitely feels great, and I would not, though I wouldn't primarily use a moving head spot to light people, in the case that you needed to, I think the Spectra 300 would do a really good job. Okay, other than that, there's also an iris. I don't use iris as much, so let's just pull out that prism, pull out that gobo, and so we can see if we go ahead to our iris, and we get the ability to bring in an iris, reduce that beam, especially for through the air effects, and have do some iris effects as well. Pretty typical stuff. The prism also rotates. The one gobo reel rotates. And so in terms of a fixture, and I did pop the covers off and take a look inside, build quality on the Spectra 300 is real good. It's everything I would expect and more. Usability is good. You know, function is good. Brightness is good compared to alternatives. Like, really, you know, anytime somebody makes a light, of course, you can't do everything in one light, right? But for a fixture with CMY color mixing, it's bright and punchy. It's a little smaller than some of the other fixtures in its class because it has a shorter optical trail, because you don't have a second prism like some of the similar fixtures have, etc. I think that's about all that's left out. They've kept things tight and compact, but on the inside it is semi-modular, so you can unscrew and take out modules individually if later down the road you needed to maintain them. Okay, and again, in terms of volume level, speed, etc., we're just really happy with the Spectra 300, and I think if you also check out the pricing, you're going to find out that the pricing is really awesome too. So if you're interested in this or any other fixture we've talked about, head over to Learn Stage Lighting Gear. If this isn't up yet, it will be soon, and we would love to help you be able to get your hands on these. We just think that this is a really great fit for a lot of places. Is it perfect for everywhere? No. But for somebody that's looking for a spot fixture, that wants color mixing, bright punchy output, even if you don't want color mixing, you might want to look at this fixture. Then it really does a lot of good stuff, and I think it's well worth your time to take a look. And if you need us to take a look at it, make you recommendations, etc., this is definitely worth a shot. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know below, are you looking for a CMY fixture? We're going to be doing more and more and more on fixtures with CMY because they just keep getting better and the prices just keep getting more awesome. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys over at Learn Stage Lighting Gear and in our next video. Thanks.